Your business will never grow beyond your leadership. Now let that sink in. The ceiling on your team, your revenue, and your company, it's you. And today I'm going to show you how to raise it. Now, I've been studying leadership for most of my adult life, and there's one teacher who has shaped how I lead my own businesses and how I coach the owners that I work with. It's John Maxwell. Now, Maxwell has written over 80 books on leadership. He's coached presidents, CEOs, and some of the most successful organizations in the world. And his principles aren't theory. They're field-tested, battle-hardened truths about what separates leaders who build great teams from leaders who just manage chaos. Now, today, I'm pulling 3 of his most powerful laws, the ones I come back to again and again in my own life and with my coaching clients. I'm going to show you exactly how they apply to your business right now. Now, these 3 principles change how I lead. And if you apply even one of them this week, I guarantee you'll see a difference in how your team responds to you. Before we get into it, if you feel like your leadership is the bottleneck in your business right now, I do free strategy sessions where we identify exactly what's holding you back and map a path forward exactly for your situation. So the link is in the description below. All right, now let's talk about the 3 laws. Tip number 1, the law of the lid. John Maxwell's law of the lid says the leadership ability is the lid on everything your organization can achieve. The higher your lid, the higher your potential. The lower your lid, no matter how talented your team, no matter how good your product is, your business will be capped at whatever your leadership ceiling allows. And here's what that looks like in real life. You know, I work with business owners who have incredible teams, sharp people, motivated people, people who want to do great work, and they're still stuck. Revenue plateaued, growth stalled, the owner is working harder than anyone, and the business still isn't moving. And almost every time, the lid is the leader. Not intentionally and not lazily, but the leader hasn't grown at the same pace they're asking the business to grow. They're making decisions the same way they did when the company was half the size. They're communicating the same exact way, leading the same exact way, and the business reflects it. So Maxwell says, if you think you're leading, but no one is following, then you're just taking a walk. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Where is your leadership lid right now? Where are you the ceiling in your own company? Is it how you delegate? How you handle conflict? How clearly you communicate your vision? Because whatever your honest answer is, that's your growth edge. And raising that lid is the highest leverage thing you can do for your business. All right, tip number 2, the law of addition. The second law is the law of addition, and it's simple, but it cuts really deep. You know, leaders add value by serving others, not by having the best ideas, not by being the smartest person in the room, not by working the longest hours, but by asking one question every single day. How do I make the people around me better? Now, Maxwell put this way. Adding value to others is the greatest thing leaders can do. And here's why this matters so much for business owners specifically. Most of us were trained to perform. We started our businesses because we were really good at something, right? We built our reputation on being the best at whatever we did. And so our default is to lead from a place of production, doing, executing, performing. But at a certain point, your job as a leader is no longer to be the best performer. It's to make your team perform at their best. And that requires a fundamental shift in how you show up every single day. Now, in my real estate company, I had to learn this the hard way. For a while, I was so focused on closing deals, hitting targets, driving revenue, that I wasn't investing in my people. I wasn't asking what they needed. I wasn't removing obstacles for them. And I wasn't adding value to their day. I was just extracting value from their effort. The law of addition flips that. You walk into every interaction, every one-on-one, every team meeting, every difficult conversation asking, what can I give? What does this person need from me to show up at their best? And how do I lead this person better than I found them? Now, that one shift from extraction to addition changes the entire culture of your team. People don't just work for you, they work with you. And they work harder because they know you're invested in them. Now, real quick, if this is hitting home, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know another business owner who needs to hear this content, please share this video with them right now. The last law is the one that actually sets you free as a leader. The third law, and the one I believe is the most transformational for business owners, is the law of empowerment. And here's what Maxwell says about that. Only secure leaders give power to others. Now, hear that again. Only secure leaders give power to others. Most business owners hold on to control because they're afraid, right? Afraid that if they let go, things will fall apart. Afraid that nobody will do it as well as they would. Afraid that giving their team more authority means they're less relevant, less needed, less valuable. And that fear, even when it's completely understandable, is exactly what keeps the business trapped. Because a business that only runs when the owner's in control isn't a business. It's a job and a very expensive, very stressful job with a lot of employees. So the law of empowerment says that the highest form of leadership is releasing capable people to do great work without you hovering over them. It's building the systems, the trust, and the culture that let your team make good decisions without needing your approval at every turn. I see this in my coaching constantly. An owner who micromanages every decision is an owner whose team stops thinking. They stop bringing solutions. They stop taking initiative because they've learned, consciously or not, that the owner is going to change it anyway, right? So why bother? But when you empower people, when you say, I trust you, here's authority, go make it happen, something remarkable occurs. People just rise. They step into a version of themselves they didn't know existed. And your business starts running without you as the bottleneck in every single decision. Maxwell says the proof of great leadership is what happens when you're not in the room. Does the team still move? Do decisions still get made? Does the culture still hold up? If the answer is yes, you've empowered them well. If the answer is no, well, that's your next area of growth as a leader. So there you have it. 3 laws from John Maxwell that I have personally lived by and that I watch transform the businesses and the leaders that I coach every single week. The law of the lid, your leadership is your ceiling. Raise it or accept the limit. The law of addition, stop extracting from your team, start adding to them. And the law of empowerment. The most powerful thing you can do as a leader is give your power away to the right people. Now, these aren't concepts, they're decisions. And they're decisions the leaders need to make, right? Make them, and if you make them consistently, intentionally, week after week, those are the ones who build businesses and teams that outlast them. Now, if you watch this and you're thinking, I know I need to grow as a leader, but I don't even know where to start, it's okay. That is exactly what my free strategy session is for. Get on a call, ask you the right questions, and together we figure it out. Where your leadership lid is and what it's going to take to raise it. So the link is in the description. It's free, and it might be the most important conversation you have this year. Also, hit like if this gave you something to think about. Subscribe if you want more of this content every single week, and share this with another business owner who's ready to level up their leadership. Because the world needs better leaders, and that starts with us. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, go out there and cause and create miracles.